Hey, sorry I didn't post any video last month. I wrote a little post about it, but what happened? I I wanted to talk about internal design stuff in the game that I'm working on, and like it's not announced yet. Even like some of it's even spoilers that I don't want to. I wanted to talk about it now because now's when I'm in the middle of thinking about it. I think that'll be like a valuable thing to have to look back on. But like it's not appropriate to release at this stage. Yeah, so I recorded 2 videos last month and didn't post them. I kind of had in the back of my mind like maybe I'll do at least one more to there's something that I can share. But like, it seems like 2 a month is my max at the moment. I mean, I've got a lot to do. So yeah, like I value like taking this time and like just like, whether you listen or not, it's a different kind of processing for me than just doing it internally. So like I like to do it, but yeah, I got my limits. So like the main thing I have to share about is what I'm working on. So I'm going to try and like skirt the boundaries of like what feels reasonable to talk about, because it's just to me what's about how my life is going rather than like internal to the project. Yeah, and how my life is going is I'm working a lot. it's been a big change because I wasn't able to work a lot before. Like I was working a lot just like on survival, right? And yeah, it's it's kind of scary when I look how much we're spending each month now. But like that's because like then I was working really hard to like keep our living costs down, like doing a lot of like preparing foods that like I can do like in one load in the oven so it's not running it multiple times, and like soaking things overnight. Like it's a very intensive kind of kitchen work and household management to keep the costs down, which like I mean that's kind of a full-time job in itself. And yeah, when I was trying to do game stuff on top of that, my capacity was very limited. Yeah, so now like there is a budget. The budget needs to be spent to make space for work to happen, and so that's happening. But yeah, I'm working. I've been working with a visual artist, which has been really nice. Yeah, I've not ever done that before, and I always had it in mind as like something like if one of my games sold a bit more, and then I managed to work out something that would be nice to do. But like yeah, as I've said on here before, like lots of times people were telling me that I was an idiot for not doing that or something. I was like, I mean, that'd be nice, but like my business is functioning as it is. It is like you bring in one more person and like the costs go up a lot. Yeah, but now I'm trying it, and yeah. So I had the basic prototype for the game. I'd proven the concept of the design, and I got to thinking about like I'd gone for a few different visions of how it was going to look as I was prototyping ideas and then throwing them out. But I had a very clear vision for it now, and like who can I call on to help realize that? And oh yes, another strand of thought here, like Portugal. has quite a high tax rate, like really high. Like I will be paying like 40% in tax this year. That's like, I'm really okay with the top brackets going as high as they do. Like that seems reasonable, but like where the brackets are seems wrong, because like, it's hitting the people it's not meant to hit. It's not right. Yeah. A lot of people here just evade tax, like at least for large parts of their income, they're not. It's under the table, and yeah, I'm not so comfortable doing that. Maybe I just should be, but like it feels like with international business stuff, there's much higher risk. Like it kind of seems wrong. Like the law is wrong, and like I guess it's righteous to break an unrighteous law, but like the principle of the law is sound. It's just, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, there's actually a scheme for wealthy foreigners to be able to pay quite a low rate, and I'm not on it. I can't get on it now. I could have got on it if I met the conditions when I first moved here, but now it's not an option. But yeah, a lot of the wealthy foreigners here who like are the ones who should be paying a higher rate, because just like basic fairness, are paying a very low rate, and the local people who have much lower income are paying more. Is just and like having like properly researched this and understood what's going on now, I've realised that this has been a factor in relating to people here, that people will take me for being like a foreign tech worker, which like more or less is an accurate-ish description, and then assume that because of that I'm paying half the tax they are and earning like being paid like 3 times, 4 times, 10 times as much as they are. And yeah, money is a big factor in social interactions, and yeah, I can look back and see times when it's not always explicit. That people aren't always like saying, pointing fingers. It's like you are ripping off or whatever, but it's just like underlying. It affects the entire feeling of it. And yeah, looking back, I can see times where there's people that I'm pretty sure were earning more than me, but now that I have that perspective, I'm pretty sure they were pretty sure that I was earning a lot more than them and paying less tax on it. And like I was happy to relate to them as an equal, but they were seeing me, yeah, so it's and just having that perspective now, I feel things have gotten a lot easier here socially, because like again, it's not something that explicitly comes up, but just understanding that someone might be seeing me in this way, making this judgment, like changes my demeanor towards them to be like, you can't really put it in words, but just a different way of like, I know that's not me, but I know that they might see that that's me, and like either I want to relate in a way that makes it clear that that's not me, or relate in a way that doesn't feel like there's a power dynamic that's weird, even if they do think that there's this disparity. And like trying to articulate this kind of subtle social stuff verbally is very difficult. But like I feel since I have that understanding, there's a bit of a shift in how I relate to people who might, and things get easier. It's still a foreign country, but it becomes easier to relate to people. And just also working in an office with Portuguese people, like I'm talking with them, but I'm also like while I'm working passively hearing their work calls and stuff. So like the child language acquisition is happening much more naturally. I'm reading children's books now. I've got a Famous Five translated. It's really exactly the right level for me. I'm just like, it takes time. Like I would have expected like 7 years. I would like have put in the work and be fluent, but I did not expect any of this. So like it's nice to at least be seeing that the ball is rolling and progress is happening. Like I don't know how much longer we'll be here, but like my kids are Portuguese. Like there's a permanent tie here. So that was a nice sidetrack. I was going to talk about working on the game in a careful around the spaces kind of way. So let's get back to that. So tax. That's where I was. So there's a small incentive to have a certain fraction of the spend be within Portugal. Like that's a good enough explanation. Like the types of, it's not expenses. Like it's different from expensing things, but like the types of transaction that you can register, it has to be to someone with a Portuguese tax number. So it's like that. So like a large fraction of my spending right now is going to be on collaborators. And so like ideally like some portion of those will be within the country because like otherwise I'll be paying more tax. It's like, whoa. And I actually know a lot of artists here, but not game artists, like hippies. Like it's good people, like with nice work, but it would take more time for them to be able to get their work into the right format to be able to put into a game. So it would be, like that could be the right fit for certain types of game. But like, I would prefer someone who has some game experience, just for starting out. So I decided to have a look on just like the local game dev groups, which I've been lurking on for years, but not like when I came here I'd been like to GDC and all stuff like too much, and I was just like, the game industry has big culture problems. There's lovely people I miss seeing more often, but I just really wanted to get away from all that. So like I joined the game dev groups just to kind of see what was up, but I was just like, I don't really want to be in that culture, which I think was a good decision for the time. Now I'm going back into it a bit more, and hopefully my time out of it will have built me up some strength to like more be affecting cultural change there rather than being affected by the culture. We'll see. So I looked on these groups and like found someone advertising offering graphics work, and I looked at her portfolio and I was just like, this person could do it. Like the feeling of what I'm looking for is here, and cool. I guess I should keep looking, because like you don't just take the first thing that pops up. So like I looked around more, and I was looking at, like, you know, I've been following a lot of artists, and it's like, had, you know, like I think I said earlier, had in the back of my mind for a long time that, like, if I ever have the budget for it, I will be like interested in working with people who do other bits and pieces. I have worked with a couple of people in sound, which has been, yeah, both times that's been a really good experience, and I felt like I was really able to get, I really liked being in that role, actually, of like giving them a space to work in, like giving them directions, but like also giving them space to play, and just like seeing what comes back, and then having the feedback of, they bring something back to me, and I like tell them what I like about it, what I think doesn't quite fit the direction, and yeah, it's a nice process. So I was looking forward to doing something more of that. And yeah, I've had a lot of artists I've been like just following, keeping tabs on, like enjoying the pieces they put out, but thinking like maybe one of those people could be who I work with. And I went through like all of them, and I was like, I'd love to work with this guy on some game, but it's not the direction here. I'd love to work with, again, like, you know, it's like, as I came back to this first one that I looked at, I was like, actually, like, this is the one that's given me the gut feeling that, like, I should go with it. And, like, I've been doubting that because, like, internally, like, it was the first portfolio I looked at in this particular process of finding one for this game. But obviously it's not the first I've looked at in my life. Like, yeah, so like, I was kind of doubting that, because like, it's like, but I haven't been looking around, but I have been looking around. So I just, yeah, you just don't expect to find it, like, just as soon as you start looking. But like, sometimes it is like that, and it's like, you look in the right place and it just drops into your lap, and you just like shouldn't question it. So I got in touch, and she was keen, and like had availability, and so like I got her to start doing a few sketches for it, and they were right. It's just like great. And yeah, so we've been working for the last several weeks, like going back and forth doing stuff, and it's been a really, really positive experience. It's like I said about working on the sounds, but like even more, because I am a visual artist myself. I'm not, like, I haven't trained it to the professional level, but it's something that I have studied it all, and I have a sense for. And yeah, so when something's not right, I feel I'm able to give very good direction on what's needed to make it right. And sometimes that's been drawing stuff myself, which is fun. Like drawing is a fun activity for me, and like one of the things that was kind of putting me off working with a visual artist is that I like drawing stuff. One of the main ways I find space in my life to draw stuff is by drawing stuff for my games. And if I'm working with someone else who's drawing stuff for me, then that's taken away from me. But like, she draws stuff, I say this is not right, and I draw like more like this, and it's horrible, because I don't even need to try to make it good. I just need to get the soul of it, and then she takes that and does a good version of it, and we're there. And it's like, it's fun, and she's so quick. Like, you know, the graphics in my previous games, like, I painstakingly spend hours like trying to make a better, more polished version of it, and then I get told it's ugly. It's like, it feels bad because I spent so much time on it. But you know, a professional has put all that time into getting quick. So yeah, like I come up with an idea. She comes back the next day with a lovely version of it. It's like, it's cool. It's really positive. It's really enlivening. Yeah, and she has her. She's worked on games before, but not like in the like indie like scene. So it's like some board games, some mobile games, and she's done a lot of like. There's not much of a games industry here in Portugal, so like a lot of her professional work seems to have been like shop displays and this like other stuff, which is cool. And yeah, it's yeah. So I feel like other people might feel, she might feel differently. I don't know. I feel like she has a really good sense of characters, and like I can just like sometimes I've like acted out a character. It's like, so this one, it's like, and then she comes back with a drawing of like the person I've been trying to give, and that yeah, and then yeah, like there's this sense of space of like just like this, right? Like the environments that when you see them, they give you a sense of grounded presence, of being in them, and that grounds you, and like it calms your nervous system to feel a environmental feeling. I don't know. Yeah, no, this was really like this calming spaciousness in her work was really one of the things that, this is just from looking at her portfolio, I had the sense that this would be a good person for me to work with right now, because like seriously, like the fatigue, it's a serious issue ongoing. Like I got into this because I felt like really confident that I was ready to like be working again and I could do it, and I wasn't wrong. I was able to really get back into it, but my tolerance for stress is basically zero, and so I felt that I need to be a bit thoughtful about who I collaborate with, because like, a lot of people in the games industry run on stress. Like there's like the crunching like extremes, but like even amongst the studios that are trying to do better than that, even amongst indies who don't have anyone bossing them, like people are stressed, and like it's yeah, and you can tell a lot about someone from their art, and the sense I was getting is like, this is a person who knows how to work professionally, knows how to like take care of themselves in their life, and would be not stressful to work with. Like that was just an impression I had from the drawings. But like it's like you trust your gut. Like I felt strongly like this will not be a stressful collaboration, and it's been true. Like it's just it's not a source of stress in the project. It's great. Like, there are sources of stress. There are sources of stress, but this is not one of them, and I'm really grateful for that. Yeah, like at some point, like when the publisher decides it's time, like there'll be like announcing and stuff, and you'll get to see the actual work. But like, I think this is like walking an acceptable, like, this is just talking about how my life is going kind of thing, rather than like, because I haven't said anything about the project. Like, I think this is not stepping on any toes. But, I mean, who knows, right? Like, who knows? But, yeah, so that's been going great. Yeah, for a good chunk of time, I was basically not having fatigue days at all. Recently, there have been some additional stresses, and I have lost a few days to fatigue, and that's sucked. And I cannot let that happen. Like, I can't let that happen, but I can not let that happen. Right? Because I can be very chill and like in this like kind of easygoing way that's like not really always healthy, because you're not like setting boundaries and standing up for yourself. So like I'm working on being more firm in my boundaries, and like if someone else is having stress, that's their thing. I don't have to take it on into my life, because like yeah. No. And all the time, like it's been hard, but a lot of people have it much worse. Like, often I see things from people who have the long COVID effects and are doing a lot worse than I am, because they were like in their life setup and like internally like a lot less prepared to just like stop and do what they need to convalesce and yeah. I spent a lot of time before this, like years ago, like I knew a lot of people with chronic fatigue, and I spent a lot of time listening to them about how that was and what it meant for their lives and what strategies they needed to deal with that. And I was entirely listening just to be able to be supportive to them. I did not expect that I would need those strategies for myself. But like when that day came and I needed the strategy, it took me a while to recognize that that's what was happening. But when I did, I was like, I actually just through like trying to be good to other people, I have a lot of reserve of resources to deal with this. And that's my advice for life. Be good to other people and listen to them about what they're dealing with, what situations really are to them. Really listen to them and understand their perspective. And like, it can, like this, very literally come back to you. That's not what I wish I knew, but it can happen. But it's going to be a good thing to do, however you do it. Like however it turns out, you're not going to regret having really listened, really understood. Yeah, man. Like, there's a there's such a diversity of experience in the world, and yeah, people are amazing. And it's just like, oh. Yeah, well, it's not falling into words right now. I'm just like, wow, just like, have a good day.